you again. I really appreciate you
My
taking
pleasure.
the time. So one thing that I think is interesting is the difference between the in-camera effects and the computer-generated effects.
Right.
And I wonder if you could just briefly address that and what your preference is.
Well, my preference is obviously the practical effects because that's what I've done for the last 50 years or so. I think there's room for both in movie making, obviously. The challenge is to get the right balance. I think with the Harry Potter series, we managed as well as any 8 movies have managed to get a good balance of practical and CGI work that fitted together pretty seamlessly. You know, CGI is a great tool. It's sad in a way that most children now can do it on their own computer. So some of the magic of the movies, I think, has been lost through that. And I think there's a great danger with a lot of the movies of today. They tend to look like animated cartoons rather than real life films. And what is obviously impossible to do in reality, then obviously you have to rely on the CGI world. But by combining the two as much as possible, you're going to get a much more realistic, more exciting, more intense movie.
What were some of the most challenging scenes with the practical effects?
I mean, one of the obvious ones was the broomstick flying. You know, it was something that hadn't been done well in a movie before.
And how did you achieve that?
Well, we built more rigs than I could shake a stick at, but we had hydraulic rigs, we had pneumatic rigs, we had electronic rigs, we had rigs that would move the children in a sort of completely 3D movement.
That you actually molded the seats.
Well, that's how we ended up, because I mean we had to make these things as comfortable as possible. So every actor, we built a special rig. Every actor came in, adopted the broomstick flying position, and we literally molded their bottom to suit and then fitted that on the broom. So everybody that went on a broomstick not only had their own broom, but they had their own molded seat to suit, because they had to be strapped into it as well, because in some cases they were 12, 15 feet up in the air, moving around quite vigorously. So,
are there any of these contraptions that you have invented for the Harry Potter films? And I know you've worked on a great many others, Alien and the James Bond series as well. Out of all of these films, are there any that you wish that you could actually take home with you, that you could have in real life?
well, I suppose Harry Potter's wand's the most obvious one. I could do lots of things with that. I could refill my wine bottle every night, but I suppose it's really, I think what I've gained from Harry Potter is the entire broad spectrum of all the effects that we did throughout the whole films.
And last question for you, what is it like coming back to see all of these sets?
For me, I've never left them. After the films, I sort of got involved in putting the stuff into the tour, and now putting the train in here. So it's been 15 years constant work. Having said that, it's wonderful to be able to come and see everything every day, because normally on a movie, you finish the film and it all goes into the garbage, and you don't keep anything. So it's great to see it all kept and kept as well as it's been kept.
I hope your next project will be a Hogwarts hotel. I would stay there.
Now there's a thought.
Thank you
Great.
so much.
My pleasure.
You're really generous with your time, and I really appreciate it.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.